It is Spiritual Conversations with Cari and Candice. Welcome. And Candice and I were talking, and we were getting ready to do this episode, and she started telling me a story that is something more profound than anything we were going to talk about. So we're going to this. We talked about dreams and things that come to us and people that come through us to the dreams. Candice has quite the remarkable story. Please share.
Okay, Cari, I will try. We started talking about dreams and how it's great when you can have this significant dream. And I mentioned that I had a dream journal that was like, 250 words long. I didn't used to keep up with my dreams until one day in March of 2002. I had this dream that changed me. I was working as a psychologist, and as a psychologist, I used to dictate my psychological evaluations. I had this headset with a microphone that I would use, for the dictation, and I couldn't find it. Now, I'm very organized, and I knew I hadn't lost it. It had to be in one of three places. It had to be at school A or school B or at the main office. I was at school A, couldn't find it. Okay, that's all right. I'll wait a couple of days when I'm at school B. Wasn't there either. Waited a few more days. Couldn't find it at the main office. So I went to bed one night and I was so puzzled. It's like, what has happened to this microphone? It's really no big deal, but it was a big deal for me because I don't lose things. Well, in this dream that I had, I understand now what happened. I had actually set the intention, I want to find this microphone. I didn't know that at the time. I just went to bed, I just went to bed with that on my mind. And in this dream, this man comes forth. He steps out straight toward me. He's in a group of about 40 people. And he says, "We are part of your soul group." Now, this is 2002. I had no idea what a soul group was. I just thought, well, okay. And he said, he said, "We will tell you where your microphone is." And in the dream, I said back, "Well, it doesn't matter. I don't remember my dreams anyway." And he said, here we go.
If you know Candice, she talks in her book about she gets very emotional and stuff, and that's part of her. You're sensitive, Candice. Be yourself. Be authentic here. We want to hear the story.
Okay. He said, "You will remember this one." He said, "You remembered the will, don't you?" And especially, Cari, when I communicate with angelic forces, I'm always just reduced to tears. So this is
because it's bigger than reality. And I'm tearing up hearing the story. So I totally get it.
Well, let's see if I can tell the story. I don't know if I'll get
You can. We'll take the time.
But he said, "Do you remember the will?" I said, "Yes." "What were you doing before you found the will?" And I said, "Sleeping." And he said, "We told you during the dream where the will was." Now, 15 years before, in 1987, at the age of 35, my husband died. Back then, they froze your assets until you could go through probation, or not through probation, before you could probate the will.
Right.
And right before Daryl died, he said, "Do you have the will?" And I said, "Yes, it's in my office." And I had a copy in my office. I had no idea that a copy of a will was meaningless. I was going to have to go through a trial by jury to prove that the will was genuine. And in the meantime, all of my assets were frozen. I couldn't even go to the grocery store. I had 2 kids at home. I couldn't survive. I mean, Daryl had been president of West Kentucky Home Builders. We had over 50 apartments and houses in 7 different states. We had houses that were in different stages of being built. I couldn't even pay anyone. I couldn't even buy groceries. God. I had to find the will. one day I had crashed on the couch, and anytime anyone would call me, as I would be on the phone, I would like sit on the floor and pull things out from under the bed. It's just like, where is this will? I was awakened, and I wasn't aware that I had been dreaming until in 2002, when this angel told me I was dreaming. A friend of mine woke me up. As I talked with her, she was telling me how sorry she was that Daryl had died. I went straight to the garage. I went to an antique cabinet in the corner. I opened the drawers. I opened the doors, pulled out a drawer, pulled out a box, opened it up, and there was the will.
You would have never found it.
No, I mean, I went through several steps before I found it. And so in this dream 15 years later, in 2002, when he says he's going to tell me where my microphone is, and I said, nope, I won't remember it. He said, yes, you will.
You will.
He said, you were sleeping. We told you where to find the will. We told you where it was. And then he said, you will remember where the microphone is. And then at that point, they told me that the microphone was inside an Angel Emporium bag, which is like a canvas sack that I had from a store that had been called Angel Emporium.
That's the ironic part. Angel, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even get it at the time. And
No.
they said, it is on the floor right next to the bedroom door. I was like ecstatic. I woke up that morning and I was just beaming. I remembered every bit of this dream in every detail. I got up, I went straight to my bedroom door, which normally just stays open. I closed the door, and there was the bag. It had been on the handle, my doorknob, and I guess it had fallen down.
Knocked off, yeah.
But this was the point that I realized that dreams are more than just dreams. This was a dream that transformed me. And this was a dream that made me start keeping a dream journal. And I'm so glad that I did. But to have a dream in 2002 that put me back to 1987 and actually told me that they are the ones that helped me find the will. I'm speechless. Speechless.
But that is just such an incredible story. To me, this is like the beginning of Candice, the author, the one who started receiving the messengers. You've been getting guidance. You just were not aware of it for all these times. And then from 87 to 2002, you started recording dreams. And now the messengers are referred frequently to your dreams because they've been visiting you for a long time. Yeah. And like,
I keep this dream journal. So when we were talking about this dream and you wanted me to share the story, I went back in my dream journal and I wrote, this is what I wrote. I said, what is so significant is that, and this is 2002, that I never realized that I had guidance from above in finding that will. Not until almost 15 years later when I had this dream. They not only told me where my microphone was, but that they had guided me 15 years earlier. And then I ended this entry in my dream journal saying, yes, there are angels and they're watching over us. And
at
I
all
just,
times.
I had no idea. And okay, now I'm got to do a plug for my second book.
Daryl was one of the angels.
Oh, absolutely. My second book is The Reluctant Messenger Returns, an unexpected adventure into the angelic realm. Angels do guide us. They are around us at all times. And they might have to guide you if you're not aware enough yet in your dream state. That's how it started with me.
And just pay attention. Like I've lost so many things, and it's like now it's like I just was never paying attention. I mean, I'm sure I've been given guidance and I wasn't, but I'm going to be definitely keeping documentation now. So we're running out of time, but I want to talk about what you talked about early, soul groups. I want to talk about that a little bit more. And then other visits from angels, or whatever you want to call them. I mean, there were some visits I've had in my life that it's like, how did that happen and where did he go? And right, it's just mind boggling. So we'll cover that next time, but thank you for sharing that story. That was,
thank
you got me all teared up. So it's amazing. I'm sure
too.
other people are going to be touched, but pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to signs. That's the thing we're trying to really address here. So much is being given to you at any moment in time. Pay attention, listen, the guidance is everywhere.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.